Hey, thanks for downloading Garden Fork Radio. It's Eric, your host. I have a podcast and a YouTube channel. It's kind of an eclectic mix of DIY. And if you've downloaded this for the first time, this is a little bit different. This is the audio copy of a live stream I did a week ago on YouTube. And I posted the first one a while back, and people seem to like it. It's kind of a longer thing, so maybe your car ride, it might be a little... You won't hear the whole thing in your one car ride. If you're on a treadmill in Los Angeles and have a blog called Root Simple, you probably have time to listen to the whole thing. Big hint there, Eric. So let me just play you out. This is kind of me reacting to comments that come across the screen, and people ask me to talk about a topic. It's done at 9 o'clock at night, and I've already had a glass of wine, which is the kind of the polar opposite of Garden Fork Radio, which I record usually in the mornings. And I've had a cup of tea. So, yeah. Next week on the podcast, Erin from The Impatient Gardener will be on talking about these raised beds that she built. Go look at her website, theimpatientgardener.com. Pretty amazing raised beds. They are a little more sophisticated than the Garden Fork raised beds. I'll just say that. All right, here we go. Enjoy the show. I'll see you next week.
By the way, YouTube rewards conversation in the commenting section. So, hey, Tim. So if you so if you're commenting, maybe if you want to help Eric, you could read through some of the comments and comment. Have a conversation with other people. I also see that as well, and I try and dive in as well. But YouTube rewards comment interaction of all of us. You like my visuals here? Talking together. So Cole, they're just kind of bumps. The mushrooms on the logs, they're just kind of bumps on the log. I did it last year. Oh yes, Daniel, you watch your commercials. Thank you. I have to look at the logs. I kept them watered. I'm not sure what I have to do. I have to reread the instructions. There are some people will take the logs. We're talking about mushroom spore plugs that I drilled into some fresh oak logs I had last year and covered them with wax. Excuse me. So what I want to do now is I've heard that you have to soak them in water to get them to fruit. So I have to check that out. It's been a little, well, it's Eric's life. So you know how that is. But yeah, there's actually a picture on Instagram of Charlie Pup in the tub that is in the woods. And that is the tub that I will soak the logs in. We have a spring. Our house for the first 60 years of its life was fed by a spring on our artesian well, I think it's called. And the spring has a cistern basically built on top of it. And the overflow pipe goes into this clawfoot tub in the woods. And Charlie Pup and Henry, when we go on a walk, on the way back, they will jump into this thing. And Charlie Pup can even get in and out of the thing pretty much. So that's pretty good for her. So that's the log update. I did buy some wine cap mushroom spore this spring from, hey Duncan, hey Scott, hey Daniel. I got some wine cap mushroom spore that you do on sawdust and wood chips, and I just haven't built the bed yet. So Daniel just asked if I had heard from Casey yet, and no, I haven't. That's the kind of thing where he might know I'm there, he might not. He gets people showing up, kind of stalking him basically outside his office, and I think that's really scary. So I'm like, I know I'm out there. Patricia's there. Hey, Patricia. But he is actually, his first people that he wants to work with are gamers, and that's not my world. So if he's kind of going in that direction where they want to have like a gaming studio and that, I don't know. That's not really what I'm into. So I did really see a really great video that his friend Dan Mace made. Dan is a director, videographer from South Africa. It's a friend of his has been helping him filmed his daily vlog, and he just did one about basically anxiety and depression and kind of pushing through that, which I think we all, I don't know all, but there's a lot of us out there that are like that. And I thought it was, he wrote a whole poem and he shot a bunch of it. He shot where I go surf casting out on the Rockaways, because it's this old army base and it's kind of grungy industrial. But I immediately recognized it. I was like, oh, I know right where he is there. So I offered on Twitter offered to Dan Mace, DANNMACE on Twitter, if he wanted to go surf casting out there, I'd take him surf casting. So there you go. What's the next question? Come on. You're typing, you're typing, you're typing. Set up. Oh, speaking of maple syrup, there's going to be, I have heard of them, Half a Bee song, yes, Cooley-Aid. When I worked in an auto parts store in high school, that was one of my jobs, and I was the parts delivery kid. And the guys watched Monty Python, and they would do the Eric the Hefferby song. But the maple syrup, there's going to be a new evaporator rig. The gentleman, Zach is his name, in Indiana. It's called Silver Creek Maple Equipment, I think. He made me this fantastic evaporator tray for a really affordable price. And he is working on some improvements that he's going to send to me. I'm going to make a new evaporator using my original tray with new file cabinet version based on my friend Brendan's design with a reverse osmosis rig connected to it. And I'm going to put that video out in the fall. I thought I'd try and be more timely instead of always doing these things after the fact. I was going to do a maple syrup build video in the fall, and that way people searching in December and November, December thinking, oh, what's it like to make maple syrup? They can find the video, find out about Zach, have him make them evaporator trays and build them before the sap season. Very interesting. My sap season ends much earlier than Will of the Weekend Homestead. Patricia can't think of anything. All right, love the chat. Great, thank you. How do I keep mosquitoes away when working outside? I don't. I spray myself with bug spray, and sometimes I have like a bug screen hat, kind of like a beekeeper hat. Our bigger problem is deer flies, and you can buy this deer fly tape on Amazon. It's horribly packaged. It looks like regular double-sided tape, but it's not. And you put that on the back of your ball cap, because deer flies attack from the back, and they're aiming toward flesh. Yeah, Will says they have 3 inches of snow still. That's true for Wisconsin. But deer flies will go for the back of your neck, and if you have this beige-colored sticky tape on the back of your cap, they fly right onto it and they get stuck, and that's really nice. But I'm going to make a couple of deer fly videos. Deer flies will fly after the tallest thing that is in movement, and they are attracted more to the color blue than any other color. So think about that. Think about what Garden Fork might do with that. It's not an original thought. I learned all about this by finding some really old web posts actually about it. So, wow, 51 people. I got 13 thumbs up. Again, a big thank you to Will from the Weekend Homestead. He's just great. He's oh, thank you, Monica. Will is the reason I'm improving the channel, basically, because I made the mistake of giving him my cell phone number, and this is a text from Will. You can't really see it there. So, so there you go. Why do I wear all black? Because I don't have to think about getting dressed, basically. Plus, I've got a small urban garden. I'm trying to get more earthrooms. And so, oh, okay. You know, I've always struggled with what to wear. And then I realized in college that I didn't have to do that. I could just wear black. And then in New York, it's kind of, if you're in New York, a lot of people wear black. It's just easier. I don't have to think. I put on Carhartt pants. I put on Carhartt shirt. In the summer, I wear gray or white t-shirts because otherwise it's just too darn hot. I do have a couple khaki pairs of Carhartts. Scott W. Hey, Scott is Will's father. I get your comments sometimes. Thank you. Yeah, I do like Johnny Cash. And someone asked about Troy Built. There's going to be a Troy Built project coming up. I don't know what it is yet. I don't know what it's going to be about yet. I've been talking with them about it. Oh, hey, Michelle. Michelle's amazing. She posts all sorts of stuff. She posted the picture of the biscuits, was it yesterday, the day before, on the Facebook discussion group. And of course, I forgot to give Will that link. If you go to Facebook and just type in Garden Fork Discussion Group, that will show up. That's about the closest thing to a forum we have right now. So Brandon, yes, I still keep bees. There are some recent bee videos, and I was just on the roof today with them. So in the beginning of this chat, oh, no, I didn't. Did I talk about that in the old chat? Yeah, we've had several restarts here. So, oh, Snow Pony, hey. And I listened to Johnny Cash in the little coffee shop this morning. It's called the American Songs or the American Songbook, where he sings covers of other people's things. Oh, and Will's dad said dryer sheets on your hat. Yeah, dryer sheet tucked in the back of your ball cap works by basically, I think, disorienting the deer fly. And Michelle says, love the Facebook group. It's a great resource for everyone. I'm finding more and more of my friends are leaving Facebook, so I'm trying to figure out what to do. Patreon offers a some sort of discussion forum, and I was looking into that. But that would be a paid thing. But you can become a patron of Garden Fork for $1 a month. And that would be access to it. But I don't know. I mean, there's some really active people. I know Wanda and Michelle are in there. And then Michelle posted some pictures of some eggs she had, and I like the biscuits. Oh, and then Will just pasted a link to the Facebook group. Yeah. Yeah. Johnny Cash worked with, I think his name was Rick Rubin, to record those last songs. It's pretty neat. Okay, I've been trying to talk for a while, so. Oh, Tim. Tim is here. He is a beekeeper in Florida, and beekeeping in Florida is so different than hello, Ruffy. Beekeeping in Florida is so different than beekeeping in the Northeast. But if you go in YouTube and type in Tim Huffman, it's a real beekeeping vicarious experience. He's always dealing with swarms. We have swarms for maybe a month or two. It seems like in Florida they have swarms night and day. So there was another question there that popped up that I lost. Let's see. Oh, somebody asked about worms in how to get worms. You know, I would basically go ask one of your neighbors or go out. Do you have is there a leaf pile nearby with there are night crawlers and worms going? You can drop them in from there. I've found that, if you dig around your soil, look for soil that has these little black kind of pebbles near it. That's worm castings. That's what I would do. And the more organic-y, composty the soil, the more they love it. Like leaves, grass clippings, they're really into that. Oh, I really like this. Let's see. I'm gonna do. Hey, Brent, I'm gonna do live chats every 2 weeks, but I get Eric. I think about it and then I forget to follow through. So, oh, Nancy says I've rescued 2 at Governor's Mansion. Wow. I don't think I think the swarm season's just started here. So, leaky plumbing. I thought I had a leak in the shower valve that I just installed. There's a recent video about that on the Garden Fork YouTube page. Oh, Michelle just sent us $2. Yay! Thank you. Here, I'll take a drink for that. There's this super chat function where if you throw a couple dollars at Eric, your super chat icon pops up. And Monica, I've known Monica for a really long time. And actually, when I go to Chicago, we have lunch together. She said the compost has to be touching the ground for the worms to come. It can't be like a tumbler and you expect the worms to appear. So, yeah. That's how that works. Yes, Michelle. Missed questions. Eric missed questions on Skype chat. I don't know what Will means by that. But anyway, throw me some of the stuff here. Ammonia water kills moss in the grass. Yeah, that'll do it. How do I get rid of weeds without chemicals? Well, mulch. Yeah, mulch works. Newspaper, cardboard, propane torch. I was just talking with Scott Gillespie. Excuse me. I've been talking too fast. Okay. But I shut off the big computer. Oh, it just came back. Anyway, Scott Gillespie, who's our Garden Fork agronomist, who's also active on the what's that thing called? The Facebook page, the Facebook group. He says that you can take a garden bed, let the weeds grow up, and then you flame them down. Let them just come up a little bit, and you flame them down. Battery-powered lawnmowers. Troy-Bilt has one, and Ego, which is sold at Home Depot, has one, and I think they're both good. I've used an Ego in my yard, and the Troy-Bilt one I have not used in my yard yet. I've seen it in use, and it is good. Troy-Bilt makes really good stuff. So I'm just going to check in on Will here. Do I make candles out of my beeswax? Do I make candles out of my beeswax? No, because I don't get enough of it, and it's really valuable to me for other uses in the hive. Hey, Noreen. Noreen is here from Noreen's Kitchen, which is on YouTube as well, and I've known Noreen a long time. Just a fountain of information about cooking, and I think it's just it's real home style. It's just down to earth, and she is a great person. So it's Noreen's Kitchen on YouTube. So check that out, please. But using the beeswax, I have plastic foundation on wood frames, and then I take the beeswax that I have, I melt it down, and I brush additional beeswax onto the frames. The frames have been sprayed with a beeswax coating at the factory. I use Man Lake is my supplier, but I always add extra. And and Michelle's bees left here in February, and they're pollinating. So they must have absconded or they swarmed. You know, bees don't read books. They are bugs in a box. So, wow, Will's dad is quite active. That's pretty good. It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun to have people's parents around. So, yeah, and Tim Huffman, who is our beekeeper from Florida, go to his YouTube channel. Just type in Tim Huffman on YouTube, and you'll find his beekeeping channel. Really cool stuff. But yeah, so I would like to make candles with it, but I haven't. I even bought the little candle mold, little votive molds. To get rid of weeds, pull them up. Okay, Cole and Painter, good night. It's time for you to go to bed. I would really love to go to bed right now, too, because this started a while ago. Oh, and uniquely, Jacqueline, likes the 2-ingredient cake. I would like some too. Oh, and do I grow perennials like strawberries in your raised beds? No. The problem with strawberries with us are chipmunks and squirrels, and I don't know if coyotes will eat strawberries or not. But it's us versus nature, and there's a lot of nature out there. I wonder if the bear would be attracted to that. I had a whole raspberry patch going, and the bears just came out for it, and so I got rid of it. I don't need bears in my yard with 2 Labradors. That my labs have confronted a bear, and thankfully the bear could care less and just kept on going. But I had to pull my knuckleheads. They were like within 15 feet of the bear, so that's a bad thing. So, all right. Do I have any fruit trees? I have 3 apple trees, and I wish I didn't. I wish I would have done it a different way. If you go to like a you-pick apple orchard, there's a lot of grass, and the apple trees are cut fairly low. And my problem is my apple trees I got semi-dwarfs, which are hardly semi-dwarfs. They're giant standard apple trees. Here we go, giant apple trees. And we get this, oh yeah, sign up for our email newsletter. There's a link right here in the chat. We get this, a number of kind of fungus, blight things, blossom drop. And I talked to a person who had an orchard, and she said you have to rake up all the fallen leaves in the fall. From the leaves that come off, that drop in the fall, you have to rake them all up and burn them, or throw them out, I guess, in the trash. But because our apple trees are within the landscape, there's hostas, there's flowers, and then there's an apple tree coming out of the thing. And I can't rake up all the leaves. So the funguses, the diseases stay in the soil, and then when the spring comes, it just populates the trees again. So we used to get apples all the time, and now the fruit will come out. The fruit will grow about halfway, and then it all drops off the tree, and then half the leaves drop off the trees as well. So if I had to do it all over again, I would plant the apple trees in the middle of the yard and get dwarf apple trees, or heavily prune a semi-dwarf. There you go. So, Will, did your kids go to bed? Oh, there was another question there. I tried your maple cornbread recipe and your ice cream cake recipe. Both were very good, especially the cornbread. I've been using Bob's Red Mill's polenta grind of cornmeal for the cornbread, and man, it's crunchy, but it's a really great texture. So thank you, Patricia. This has been fun. And bacon fat works. Butter is pretty good. You could use oil. I wonder if you could use coconut oil. Does anyone know about making a vegan cornbread? I have some friends that are vegan. I'd like to have more for dinner. So. And Daniel, I'm staying hydrated. I have water as well. Oh, Noreen says that we can totally use. Why didn't I just ask Noreen? Noreen was on a recent episode of Garden Fork Radio, our podcast, about Southern biscuits, and we had a great discussion because she's there, So, I don't know. Noreen's Kitchen. Just type in on YouTube. Type in Noreen's Kitchen, and you will have thousands of recipes for really cool food. All right, any questions I've missed? Oh, no, the comment about the kids was from someone in the chat. I'm sorry. All right, I need more questions, or else you guys are going to have to hear me talk about... Ooh, I pressed the wrong button. Whoa! Halloween Freak says Ryobi has and a mower as well, electric riding mower. I actually have a lot of moss in my yard. I just let it grow. So you should cut down the apple trees and do the plan for the dwarf trees. You could do a peach and an apple or a pear tree. That will make a great series of videos. Yeah. The only thing that's got me thinking is I planted the apple trees we have now 15 years ago, and I'm a little older now, so in another 15 years, I might not be in our house. I might be in an assisted living center, you know. Oh, uniquely, Jacqueline just subscribed to Noreen. Yay! I have a moss problem in my yard. Would you recommend stove ash or lime? Lime for moss, because I actually haven't limed my yard for a long time, and the moss is creeping in from the side. So last fall, I put down pelletized lime. So that's from Gyrocon. There's some interesting names on YouTube. So, and Guy says that I thought about raising livestock. No, because we're kind of part-time and I'm half my time I'm in New York, and I'm in New York right now. This is the side of my building right here. We're in the kitchen, so that's the Labradors are in the other room there, so you can't. Sorry about the camera shake there. And then upstate, if you have chickens, you have to basically put them in every night, or the coyotes or the raccoons will kill them. So plenty of my neighbors have rabbits or chickens. Oh, hey, Andrew. So I get all the eggs I want. It's pretty cool. It's and then the Labradors get a raw egg every morning on their food, because I've read that dog food does not have enough omega-3, 6, 9s. So can you fertilize after show? Yeah, I think so. The pelletized lime is slow acting. It's kind of a slow release thing. But I give the pups a raw egg every morning, and I think that's helped. Do new apple trees anyway. Just get some bigger ones, more mature ones. Okay, Daniel. You write the check for that. Okay. Sealed brick. This brick was hit with polyurethane, and that could be a mistake sometimes. If you don't have the brick wall super clean and you put polyurethane on, especially a cheap water-based polyurethane, it will flake right off. There's an example of that on the other brick wall over there. Do you see that where the clock is? All the polyurethane is flaking off of there. So you've got it. Oh yeah, give me a thumbs up. So yeah, I'm actually a fan of just leaving it. You can scrub it. You can clean it with a diluted muriatic acid, and that gets a lot of the loose stuff off. And then just if the mortar's in good shape, this actually you can see here has been repaired. It's a different color. So if the mortar's in good shape, it'll just hold. So I have to yawn. Is that okay? Okay. I'm learning how to, really got to thank Will from the Weekend Homestead. Whoa, come back. For helping me out here, because this is, I couldn't do this without you, Will. But they, let's see, any more questions? The garden fork chicken, yeah. The kitchen, yeah. I got thumbs up. I don't know if Will would want to post it. Are you all on the Garden Fork email list? Just go to gardenfork.tv/news and sign up. That's really kind of the way that you can find out about that. Smash that like button. That's a Peter McKinnon reference. I think everyone is trying, and YouTube is kind of trying to improve their videos. I actually just watched one the other day, earlier today, we made a video about surf casting. I went with one of my best friends, Brian. His dad was teaching us how to surf casting, and I will be making more Instant Pot videos. Boy, the editing was much slower a couple of years ago. I kind of cut things much faster now. So Monica and the future senator from Illinois, who I met when I had lunch with Monica, are going to do some repairs in their house. So that's good. Yes, the senator. I don't know. And, I don't have children, but when I talk to kids, I talk to them like I talk to adults. And I'm like, oh, instead of going, whoa, oh, what grade are you in? Oh, how interesting. I just kind of go, so when are you running for president? And that I think that's aspirational and also maybe catches them a little off guard, but it might engage them or make them think that something is possible. When I was in kindergarten, I decided I was going to run for president. So never quite made it there, but I'm kind of glad. But maybe I should have, or I still could. Who knows? Anyone can be president, right? So, but when I see Monica, I see who I call the senator, and I think that's great. Hey, Kevin from Murrayville, Illinois. Kevin, where's Murrayville? Because I went to school at Southern Illinois University in Carbondale. So let me know. Oh, and Halloween Freak will vote for me if I run for president. And Will wants to know what kind of whiskey do we like? This is nice. I also like Jim Beam rye as well. I don't know. I think more people should drink rye. Is kind of bird dog peach or blackberry. Rye whiskey, I think, is having a bit of a resurgence. Part of it is because upstate New York, they're planting more rye for the micro distilleries around here, which is really brilliant and cool. All right. It's just central Illinois, just south of Springfield. Okay. We did a road trip to Springfield when we were in college. Any product suggestion for power washing a house that's low residue, safe for dogs and plants? There's a company called Crud Cutter that puts out a number of different pressure washer ones. And, Southern Michigan. Hey, Jeff. But I found with the pressure washer, of course, I have a Troy-built pressure washer. It just takes a lot of work. We have clapboard that has white paint on it. It ain't easy to get the dirt off that because we're on the shady side of the house. It's kind of like this mossy fungus stuff. And the Crud Cutter, it did okay. Maybe on vinyls and plastic side, I'm going to do better. I don't know. But look at for the the Crud Cutter brand. By the way, pressure washers, I thought, you have the little soap dispenser tube to inject into the pressure washer pump. When you're doing the high pressure thing, the soap intake doesn't work. It only works on the wash or wetting set, the lowest setting, which is like dribbly water. That's when it will inject the soap into the water stream. On the high pressure end, or at least for the pressure washer I have, it will not inject the soap into it. So you have to do it on the soaping setting, the soaping nozzle in the end of your washer wand. And you get the whole thing wet with the soap and you let it sit and then you pressure wash it. I found sometimes to get moldy, fungusy stuff off, I would use a long handled plastic brush, like when you'd wash a boat with or something, in a bleach solution, diluted bleach solution, let it sit, and then pressure wash it off. But man, that's not an easy job. Sometimes some jobs are better just to have the pressure washer guy come and do it. And if you have a wood house that's painted, a wood clapboard house that's painted, it might be easier to have someone come do it. So, or if you got to get on a ladder, think twice, Okay, a couple more questions, and then I'm going to go to sleep because it's late here. It's 10:15. You're going to videotape the house washing. Okay, Wanda. Our streaming setup is incredibly bogus right now, Carrie. We're actually using my iPad, and in the iTunes app for the iPad, there is a live streaming function, which works pretty good. We tried to use the big computer here, which I had all set up, thinking it would be fantastic, and some third-party streaming software, which worked beautifully the last time we did a live stream. This time, because my computer did a software upgrade, there were these conflicts. What I like about using the other software in the big computer is I can upload pictures here. I had like 10 pictures I wanted to share with you guys of the bees and the bee frames and the Labradors and some other pictures of plants and stuff. And I can't do that with the Pi. Oh, good night, Jacqueline. Good night. So this works. This is quick and dirty, the iPad live streaming, which thanks to Will, we got to work. The original live stream didn't work at all. So Jeff, yes, I'm actually making a video about raising a queen in a queen rearing nuke, and I actually just talked about it with the live stream that broke. So basically, what I'm doing is I pull a couple of frames of uncapped brood that have been laid in the last 1 to 3 days, the tiny little worms at the bottom, dropping those into a medium super with a follower board. The follower board makes it into a small, it's like a wall, so it makes the super narrower. 2 frames of brood, honey frame, pollen frame, and then an in-frame feeder, which the one from Man Lake I really like. I really like Man Lake's products, basically, for beekeeping. And on the first frame I dropped in there with brood, uncapped brood, they didn't draw out any queen cells. It was weird. So I pull another frame, and I'm going to see if they're going to pull it out. But I've got one hive that is a nuke from Long Island. So they're kind of locally Long Island queen background. But the big hive is a package I got from California. Don't have your bees shipped, please. This was driven on a truck. It kept them cool. But it's one of those Saskazi queens, Saskatchewany queens, Saskazi queens. So I wanted to breed a queen, a Brooklyn queen from that Saskazi one. So that's the brood I pulled out, was from that hive there. So I'm going to get deep on there. So Super Chat only works in the live stream. Chris, I'm sorry. We had a total mess up here. Chris, if you're on our email list, then you know about this. Gardenfork.tv/news. Okay? And sign up. Grafting. Uh-oh. Grafting queens or grafting apple trees? Tim. But anyway, Michelle was asking about the kind of super chat tip jar thing. There's YouTube is rolling out a kind of auto tip jar or auto button. You can watch a video, and if you like the video or you like the person, you can just kind of hit this, essentially a contribute button right underneath the video. I don't have that function yet, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. What I'd like to hear from you guys about is a lot of people have said, Eric, why don't you have some classes? The Woodworking for Mere Mortals guy, whose name I'm blanking on now, has some of these weekend classes, which are off YouTube. And so there's a fee involved, but he teaches you how to make furniture and stuff. And I don't know what I would teach, though, because I think a lot of what I do is kind of discovery and kind of obvious. Oh, Cole, you want a schedule? Will, you can talk to him about my ability to schedule things. And Wanda, thank you very much. Wanda just sent $2. Yay. Why is it the most active people in my Facebook group, which is basically already doing a ton of work, throwing money at me, but that's okay. So, all right, a couple more and I'm going to go, okay? You're typing, you're typing, you're typing. Cole, I didn't mean to demean you there. I just kind of making fun of myself because I just struggle with follow through. It's really hard for me to get started on Mondays, and then it's really hard for me to follow through on projects, which is why I love Will Wallace, because he just hammers me now with text messages about what are you doing? Why, Oh, we're going to do a deep dive into solar soon. Will is going to have some solar videos coming out, so remember to subscribe to the Weekend Homestead. And I also have a solar panel, and I just got a charge controller and some batteries. So, oh, good to know, Cole. All right, I just want to make sure. Oh, and I made Chris happy. Yes, Chris has been around for a long time. It's kind of fun to see some of the names that I recognize from all the comments. So, oh, and then Will's promoting himself there. So there's a link to the Weekend Homestead. He's been putting out a lot of fun videos lately. If you're interested in trail clearing, some good stuff, and he has a solar powered barn series coming up. So there you go. All right, there's 41 people watching. Glad he escaped the roof. Oh, sorry. And Halloween Frank says it's not always having a heart rate locating animals. Check for some critters actually die because they are removed their food stashes. Did I say it was relocating animals? Ooh, I don't know. All right, so thank you all. Thank you all. It's kind of fun to see all. I'm going to do this again in 2 weeks. Will and I are going to do a test of this. Oh, someone in the chat. Okay. All right, Halloween Frank. All right. Of course, the chat just goes by there. So, yeah, relocating animals, especially like turtles. If you relocate turtles, they're toast. When they're crossing the road, they're going to lay eggs. Snapping turtles, just leave them alone. Snapping turtles, much like bees, only will hurt you if you're trying to mess with them. So if you leave them alone, they're fine. I just went to a big talk on turtles. Oh, okay. I'm not going to touch that one, Scott. But anyway, they're. I think turtles are actually endangered when they're crossing a road. I actually will stop the car and help them cross the road. So. Oh, Andrew, good to know. All right, good to know. But yeah, so be nice to turtles, be nice to snapping turtles. They're just trying to get somewhere to lay eggs. It's here. So, all right, I think I'm gonna. Oh, hey Steve, good to hear from you. So I'm going to hit the end button here. But if you want to sign up for the newsletter, there's links on my main YouTube channel there, and also please check out Will at the Weekend Homestead. Check out Noreen from Noreen's Kitchen. Tim from Tim Huffman, Huffman, Beekeeper, on YouTube. And if you need manifold bolts removed and you want a little rig to do that, look up Manibolt. It's the Manibolt rig. See, Andrea and Scott, I remembered. All right. Make it a great night. Good night, everyone. I will see you. Thank you very much.
Garden Fork Radio's executive producer is Jimmy Goots of hollowbooks.com, and our music is licensed from uniquetracks.com.